with me is the chairman of the NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tanga Otoe. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're meant to understand that they so far carried out party structures, party primaries. They have been marred with a lot of violence, and people are calling for your attention to this matter. What do you make of the violence that are so far taken?
The elections in the NRM
returning party cards
have not been what people think. It has been largely fair. It may not have been free in some areas, but that's because the stakes are too high. And if you see the few or so people returning party cards, most of them are losers. I must say that with certainty. If you lose an election, there should be a process. There should be a roadmap on how to handle that loss. The first is to settle within yourself. The second is to settle your supporters. The third is to accept that we can move on. When you don't have that in mind, you then go into violence. And that's what has characterized some few areas where there has been violence.
Okay, if you admit that at 20% may be the percentage for violence, but does not take away the irregularities. The irregularities may be less than 20%. What do you make of that?
I can tell you, I have just been dealing with the issue of Namutumba, where contestants took over and took ballot papers in a place called Kibale and another place called Bulange. And I have nullified those results because those were irregularities. I have just got calls from Kasese, Nyamwamba, where one who won has not been declared up to today. I have just asked the district election officer why he has not declared, because it is a recipe for conflict. Conflict in election is at times because of misbehavior of our election officials. They tend to take sides. We teach them to be neutral, but the heart is a weak thing. There are people who have very weak hearts. In Nyamwamba today, I've asked him, declare the winner. Do you have a winner? I have, but the other people are contesting. No, first declare the winner, then people petition.
Given the kind of violence that has been playing out in the course of the first party primaries roundup, how do you rate your performance?
I have handled Sechkubo, and I can tell you, I'll handle him. I know Sechkubo very well. He was my student in class at S6 level. I was his teacher at university. Sechkubo needs to be listened to. Many people think Sechkubo is mad. Sechkubo also needs to be listened to. He had a point. He had a point that the voters here were more than they expected. And the people on ground should have listened to him. I gave him a listening. He brought a petition here. That petition should be given to me the answer by Monday. Because we finished with academic petitions, we are not handling administrative election-related petitions. And if I find the answer is to repeat election in that area, I will do it.
Now, how do you rate your performance in regard to the chaos that has happened?
I can tell you this NRM Electoral Commission has performed exceptionally.
What do you make of the statements of the State Minister for Lands, Aida Nantaba, who says that the elections were not done in a free and fair environment? She accuses the entire process to have been done, more especially the counting process was done in the night.
Honorable Nantaba gave the Secretary General all the bloody problems up to when the meeting ended. The Secretary General again went back. She didn't listen. She came to my office. I gave her a listening of 4 hours and 1 minute. 4 hours, 1 minute, I failed to tell her what she wants to listen to.
Now, what have you concluded in regard to her fate?
She concluded. We don't conclude. Nantaba joined the party voluntarily. And I want to be very explicit. This is a national TV for listeners and viewers in the whole country. There are some people blaming me for having said Nantaba is free to go. Nantaba, above 18, a minister in government, a politician of her standing, made up her mind to leave the party primaries. She did not say she was leaving NRM, but she's leaving the primaries because she said we did not give her a hearing. We have 10.5 million NRM people. And we are supposed to give all those NRMs a listening. And you give one Nantaba 4 hours, and she says we cannot. I'm moving out. What do you do?
Well, thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being very exact.